I'm a sovereign, Moorish American. I'm not United States citizen, Negro, Black, or color, Your Honor. Okay, and I'm going to let you know that I'm Williams L. Okay, I'm cool with that. And I'm letting you know who I am. I'm a Moorish American. Sovereign. Yes, I do want to resolve it. I asked for this case to be dismissed off lack of jurisdiction. I asked for this case to be dismissed. Violated my constitutional right.
How do you have constitutional rights if you're denying your citizenship?
Because I'm an American. I'm a national. I'm a Moorish American. I'm not United States citizen corporate. I'm a Moorish American. I'm an American national.
In today's courtroom clip, we're watching a sovereign citizen go completely off the rails. But this time, the judge took a noticeably different approach. Rather than shutting him down immediately, she tried to engage with him respectfully and give him a chance to explain himself. Now, I'm not entirely sure I agree with that strategy. Based on what we've seen time and time again, sovereign citizens often don't respond well to calm dialogue. They tend to see it as an invitation to double down on their misguided beliefs, and that's exactly what seemed to happen here. What really stood out, though, was how composed the judge remained throughout the ordeal. Despite the nonsense being thrown her way, she held her ground with professionalism and patience. Still, I can't help but wonder, was this the right call, or would a firmer stance have been more effective? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think this approach was helpful, or just gave the defendant more room to spiral? Let's dive into the footage.
Hello, sir.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. What's your name, sir?
If I can help you.
I'm Williams L.
Yes, Your Honor, but the defendant is identified in the docket as Michael Williams. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, that's the name they're calling me, but I am Williams L.
I understand.
Michael Williams. Okay.
No, I'm not Michael Williams, Your Honor.
Okay.
I am Williams L.
Okay. So here's the thing, Williams L. I have to call you what's on the documents that I have present for me in court today. We can either handle it that way, or you don't have to handle it, and then it just will be like you didn't show up to court today.
No,
So
Your Honor, I'm just letting you know who I am.
Okay.
I am Williams L. I am not Michael Williams. They kept calling me Michael Williams. I told them who I was. I am a sovereign, Moorish American. I'm not United States citizen, Negro, Black, or color, Your Honor.
Okay, so let me tell you, Mr. Williams, this is the last time I'm gonna say it. This is all I have for you. If you don't want to handle it under that name today, then I have to act as if you aren't present. And so that's fine, but I
You say what? Hold on.
Can
you repeat that? Can you repeat that, Your Honor?
If we can't handle those matters and those tickets that's on that case under that name, then that's fine. But it's going to be as if you didn't appear for court today because I have.
Ma'am, I'm here today, ma'am.
Right. So I'm just saying when
Williams L is here today. I'm just letting you know who I am, ma'am. Yes, I do. Okay. I am Williams L.
So that's fine. When I call it on the record, I'm going to have to call it on the record as the name on the ticket, just so you know, okay?
Okay, and I'm going to let you know that I'm Williams L. Okay, I'm cool with that, and I'm letting you know who I am. I'm a Moorish American.
Okay. Did you want to offer? Okay. Did you want to offer for it or no? Are you going to try and I need to kind of know where you're going. Are you going to want a trial? Are you going to try and want to?
No, I do not agree. I do not agree to none of this. I'm sovereign.
Okay, so if you're not going to participate, we're just going to act like you're not here today, and I'm going to go ahead and.
I am here today, ma'am. You seeing me right here? That's on record.
Listen, just because you show up doesn't mean that you're here. You have to participate. Okay.
Ma'am, I'm a sovereign. I'm letting you know who I am. I'm participating. I do not agree.
Mr. Williams, that's fine, but if you don't participate, saying you're a sovereign doesn't help me.
I'm just letting you know who I am. That's violating the constitutional right, ma'am.
So do you want an offer or not? That's my question.
Do I want a what?
An offer to the tickets or not?
Do I want to? I can't understand. You said, do I want to offer?
Do you want an offer? Do you want to try and resolve this today as far as?
Yes, I do want to resolve it. I asked for this case to be dismissed off lack of jurisdiction, Your Honor.
Oh, no, that's not going to happen. So you can, I'm not going to.
I'm speaking for myself. I have no attorney, so I'm speaking for myself. I asked for this case to be dismissed. Violated my constitutional right.
How do you have constitutional rights if you're not a citizen?
I have to say, this prosecutor really brought some much-needed clarity to the courtroom. He voiced exactly what many of us have probably been thinking. His point was simple but important. How Can someone claim the government has no authority over them, only to turn around and demand protection under the Constitution? It's a contradiction that seems to come up often in sovereign citizen cases. They insist they're not subject to U.S. laws, yet they want to invoke the very rights and protections those laws provide. It's a bit like rejecting the system entirely, until it's convenient to rely on it. That's the deeper issue here, misunderstanding how legal systems work. Unfortunately, many of these defendants seem to base their arguments on misread or misquoted parts of the Constitution. And instead of seeking proper legal advice, they double down on these beliefs no matter how often judges refute them. Let me know in the comments, do you think this prosecutor handled it the right way? Or is there another approach that might work better with these kinds of defendants?
I'm not a United States citizen.
So how are you entitled to constitutional rights of citizens?
You got to uphold to the sovereign, sir. You can't. I'm not United States citizen. I'm not Negro, black, or color. You're not under I'm not under your jurisdiction.
I understand, but my question to you is, if you want to rely on your constitutional rights, how do you have constitutional rights if you're denying your citizenship?
Because I'm an American. I'm a
I
national.
understand. I get
I'm
it,
a
but
Moorish American. I'm not United States citizen corporate. I'm a Moorish American. I'm an American national.
okay, but you're still present in this jurisdiction, right?
I just asked for this case to be dismissed off lack of jurisdiction. That's it. I don't want no attorney. I can speak for myself. I'm not a minority. What am I doing here?
He can represent himself. Don't worry about it. You put
I can
yourself on
speak
record.
for myself.
All right.
I'm speaking
Now
for
calling the
myself.
matters
Y'all
of the
violating
people.
my rights. That's a
Now
sovereign.
calling the matters of the people versus Michael Williams. This is ticket number SP 1212334. Count 1, use loudspeaker without permission or unreasonable noise. Count 2, drove while license suspended. Count 3, no insurance misdemeanor. Sir, please state your name for the record.
I am Williams L.
All right. Sir,
I don't have a name. I have a title.
This is the date and time set for an arraignment on a bench warrant. Do you want to participate in these proceedings?
Yes, I'm here on special appearance. I'm just letting you know who I am.
All right, so how would you like to move forward with this matter, sir?
I asked for this case to be dismissed off lack of jurisdiction, Your Honor.
All right, that motion has been denied. How would you like to move forward on these matters?
I just told you what I would like it, so I don't know. I'm just here on
So it's
special
been
appearance.
denied, so you can either participate today.
I am participating. I'm here.
No.
I'm speaking for myself. I have no attorney, so I'm just letting you know. It's denied, so we can keep going on with proceedings. I am Williams L. I'm not a United States citizen. I'm not Negro, black, or color. I'm not Christian.
All right, Mr. Williams, it appears to the court as I'm making a record that he does not want to participate in these proceedings.
I told you I
like
wanted
to
to
dismiss these
participate. I'm just
matters.
letting you know who I am. I told you for the record.
All right, he would like to not participate in these proceedings. He has told me that he is the person known as Williams L. and not the person on these tickets, so he is not appearing on behalf of this person. This person has not made themselves available to the court today as an arraignment on the bench warrant, so these matters will stay in warrant status. Thank you so much. That concludes this hearing. Have a good day, Mr. L. Williams.
Stay tuned, because this sovereign citizen is about to make his second appearance in court. And believe me, it only gets more bizarre from here. If you thought the first hearing was confusing, just wait. This individual seems especially disconnected from legal reality. Unlike others who at least attempt to follow a rehearsed script, this man simply walked in and said, "Dismiss my case," as if that were a valid legal argument. It's hard to tell if he's intentionally trolling the court or if he truly believes this strategy holds weight. What's striking is how unprepared and unaware he appears, even by sovereign citizen standards. Let me know in the comments. Do you think he's just in over his head, or is this an intentional act of defiance? Let's dive into his second court appearance. Get ready. It's definitely one for the books.
Williams L.
Williams L. I'm gonna call the case as is.
Okay.
And then I'll refer to you as Williams L. if you would like, okay? Now calling the matters of the people versus Michael Williams, also known as Williams L. This is ticket number SP 1212334. Count 1, use loudspeaker without permission or unreasonable noise. Count 2, drove while license suspended. And count 3 is no insurance misdemeanor. Sir, can you state your name for the record, please?
Williams L.
Okay, and is there another name that
Well,
you have?
That's not my name. That's just my title.
Okay, what's your title that you have, sir?
Williams L.
And then, is that your name or your title?
My title.
Okay, you don't have a name at all?
No, I'm not Christian.
All right. Is my understanding that you don't want to have an attorney, sir, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, you know you have the right to have an attorney. These matters are misdemeanor matters, and you have the right to have an attorney on these matters, sir. And it's my understanding, no attorney, okay? So let me advise you of your rights. In these particular matters, the court can, since they are misdemeanors, do either, I think, 90 days on one of these and up to 93 days in jail, or a maximum fine of $500. These are all misdemeanors, so that's the maximum penalty that can be given in any of these matters. You have a right to have a trial, a bench, or a jury trial in any of these matters. A bench trial is a trial before myself as the trier and finder of facts. A jury trial is a trial with 6 members of the city of Detroit who will come in here and hear the same information and make a decision based on it. These are your rights that you have right now. You also have a right to have a pretrial. What that does is that gives you time to think about any offer that may be given to you. At this point in time, there has been an offer extended to you that if you are willing to plead to the no insurance misdemeanor, it will be reduced to an improper place. I set the fine that goes with that. You have a right to, you can also move for a motion. If you know how to file those, you can file a motion as well. So what's your pleasure at this time, sir?
I'm under common law. I'm not under statutes or codes or regulations.
So when you drive on any city street in the city of Detroit, any road in the state of Michigan, you now avail yourselves, whether you wanted to or not, to the laws and states and regulations that are governing us. So you may not have wanted to, but you did. So these are your options at this point in time. If you choose not to, if you were traveling, if you were driving, it's all the same.
I wasn't driving, I was never.
So if you were just in the vehicle as a passenger?
I was parked. And it was harassing.
You sure you don't want an attorney?
I'm under common law. I can speak for myself. I'm not a minority. I'm a sovereign.
So what option would you like today? Of those that I gave you, sir. You can have.
Ma'am, I'm a sovereign. I do not consent. I can't.
So here's what's gonna happen. I want to make sure you have all the options. You can't consent to anything. So that means that you don't want to participate in the process. So it's just gonna go back into warrant status. Because you have to pick one of the options, yes.
Ma'am, I'm a sovereign.
And you were in the city of Detroit on a street in a vehicle. And I understand what you just said. That's why I said, did you want counsel?
I'm not a United States citizen.
All right, I think this is where my patience starts to wear thin with this defendant. I know this may sound a bit strong, but at some point the court needs to draw a firm line. This sovereign citizen has been arguing in circles, ignoring every legal explanation, and it's starting to feel like a waste of everyone's time. Frankly, the judge might need to take a tougher stance here, whether that's holding him in contempt or simply moving forward with sentencing. The back and forth just isn't productive, and it's clear the defendant isn't open to reasoned dialogue. That said, I understand some people might see this as being overly harsh. Maybe there's still a chance for him to reflect and turn things around, but honestly, I'm not sure that time behind bars would even shift his thinking. He might still be sitting in a cell insisting he's not bound by maritime law. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is there any hope for this individual to come back to reality, or is he too far gone?
Nobody have improved jurisdiction. I'm under common law. Statutes don't apply to me. I'm under common law. Supreme Court case, Supreme Court case, Self versus Ray. Statutes don't apply to me. I'm on common law. And if there was a crime committed, can you please show me the injured party? Or I ask for this case to be dismissed off like a jurisdiction.
I deny the motion for the case to be dismissed. So you have these options, or else it's just going to remain.
And I'm under duress because you forcing me saying you're going to put a warrant out for my arrest.
It's already out there.
But that's violating my 13th Amendment. You can't enslave me unless a crime is being committed.
So you can't.
You can't violate my.
Okay, let me finish talking. You can't claim you're sovereign and then claim rights under the Constitution. That's not how it works. No, that is not how it works.
I'm not a United States citizen. I have a nationality.
Okay, so that means that
you have to go by
either the laws all apply or none of them apply.
The laws do apply. What do you have a liability? Do you have a bond? Did you swear oath to the Constitution? I would like to see that.
Yes, I was about to say I did do that, but I don't have to show you any of that because I wasn't the arresting party. I'm just here
I'm
to
saying,
make
do
sure.
you have a
that-
liability? Do you have a bond?
Listen, I'm not going to argue with you, Mr.
I'm not
L.
arguing.
Williams L.
I'm under law.
Mr. Williams L. Those are your options. If you don't want any of those options, it's going to remain in warrant
You're
status.
forcing me.
Nothing
You
I
can't
can
do that.
Okay.
You can't do that, man.
Okay.
You can't go against Constitution.
Okay,
You
Mr.
took
L.
an oath.
Williams L.
You swore an oath to
I did.
follow the Constitution.
I did.
That's why I need your liability bond. Do you have a liability bond?
No.
You don't have a liability bond?
No.
Wow, man. Somebody's going to get in trouble. I'm not trying to get nobody in trouble.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Williams L. I was about to say, if you don't want any of those options, then your only other option is that I have to leave it in warrant status.
I do not consent. I'm here. What warrant? That I didn't show up?
That you didn't want to choose one of these things.
I don't have to. You can't force me to do that, all right?
You're right.
You can't
All right.
force me. You can't put a warrant out. I would like to talk to somebody, a chief judge. You're violating my
You can
constitutional
go up to the
rights.
fifth floor and make a complaint.
Just because you're violating my constitutional rights.
All right.
And I'm
Thank
gonna ask the sheriff for your liability bond.
Okay.
Hey, I don't want to do that. I just
Okay, you can
him
ask them, go ahead and ask the sheriff for my liability bond. It's fine.
Took an oath to swear to the Constitution. Took an oath. I'm under common law. I'm not under statutes or regulations.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Did you get all that, Miss Sandy? Okay, fantastic. All right, that concludes this hearing. Thank you
I'm
so
not
much.
Negro, black, or color for the record.
Okay, he said he's not black or color for the record either, okay?
No, I'm Moorish American. I'm a Moorish. Sorry.
Moorish American and he's a sovereign.
I have a nationality.
I have to be honest. I wasn't impressed with how the judge handled this one, and I really hope I'm not alone in feeling that way. I absolutely understand the importance of patience in the courtroom, but there's a difference between being patient and allowing your court to be derailed by someone who refuses to participate in good faith. At some point, judges need to stop treating sovereign citizens like confused individuals who just need more explanation and start treating them like adults making deliberate choices to disrupt the process. Years ago, antics like this would have landed someone in contempt almost immediately. Today, it seems like courts are walking on eggshells, and unfortunately, it only encourages more of this behavior. And let's be clear, this isn't just an annoying courtroom trend. It's a real problem. These individuals waste valuable time, delay justice for other cases, and in some instances, have even turned violent. The courtroom should be a place of order and consequence, not a stage for fringe theatrics. So while I don't have anything personal against the judge, I do think stronger action was needed here. Let me know in the comments how you felt about this one, both the defendant's behavior and the judge's response. Thanks so much for watching, and I appreciate you all for being here. Take care.